Welcome to the All About Me Collage tutorial. In this tutorial, I'm going to talk to you about the project instructions. I'm going to show you a sample of a completed collage and just kind of give you some tips on how to search for your images, how you can link the images to cite the source of the image, and resizing and placing the images on the collage. So, first of all, this is the instruction sheet that you will receive, and it tells you the details for the project. Just to highlight a few, you're just going to be doing one slide on a Google Slides presentation. So you're going to fill up that whole slide full of pictures that represent you. So you're going to include your first and last name on the collage, and you can do that in letters, or you can use word art, or you can type the word in, but you want to make sure it stands out, it's visible, and it's nice, and we can easily know whose collage that is. The collage needs to be full of images, text, word art, or quotes that represent you. So pretty much anything that shows us who you are, what you're into, and so on. Okay, you can include your own pictures as well as pictures off the internet. So you can take pictures off of your phone, or you can email yourself pictures, whatever you need to do to get those pictures here. Pictures that you use off the internet must be free to use, and I'm going to show you what I mean by that in a second. We don't want to use copyrighted photos. And all of the images that you use from the internet must include links to the source of the image. That's how I have you cite your sources, so you can give credit for the where the image came from. Okay, so on the collage you're required to have at least 20 images or words, and your name doesn't count towards the 20 required images or words. The entire slide should be filled with images or words, so there should be very little blank space. And if you want to, you can change the background color. You don't have to. It has to be created in Google Slides, and don't forget to hit turn in Classroom when you're done. So, topics that can be included in the presentation are anything that represent you. These topics here are just giving you an idea of what you can use, but you can totally come up with whatever is cool for school and okay to share on a school project that represents you. And this will be the rubric that I'm going to use to grade this project. You can look at that on the requirement sheet later. I use the same rubric for all major assessments. So here's the sample. So this is my collage that I created. You can see very clearly my name right here in the middle, Diana Starn. I've got a variety of pictures up here that represent me that I got off the internet. And if I take this out of the slideshow mode, if I click on the image, you can see that I have all of those linked. And so I'm going to show you how to do that in a second. And then these down here, these are pictures of my family and friends, so you'll see that those aren't linked. And that's because I don't have to give credit to someone else. Those are my pictures, so obviously I don't need to cite the source. They're mine. Okay, so ultimately this is what you're going to do. Of course, your name can be anywhere. The pictures are going to be totally different, but this is the general idea. This is an example of a completed project. So, how are you going to go about creating this? Well, you're going to be given a blank slide from Google Slides. You're going to get that from your Google Classroom later today. And then from there, you will insert, like I said, images, word art, etc. So, let's start with images. To insert images, the easiest way to do that is to go to Tools and to go to Research. Some of you may know about this already, but some of you may have never used the Research tool before in Slides and Docs. If you click on that, it's actually going to open up Google right there on your slide presentation. Okay, and in this case we want to do images. So if we click right here on the drop down arrow, we're going to select images. And then we can do an image search like we're used to doing. However, at the beginning, I mentioned they had to be free to use and not copyrighted. So we're going to want to click right here in this drop-down arrow, and you'll see that the default is not filtered by license, meaning any image will pop up. We can't use things that are not filtered. We have to use ones that are free to use, share, or modify. Okay? Once we have that all set up, then we can start finding stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and do a Google search for tennis. That's one of my favorite sports. And I played it in high school, so I'll find an image that represents tennis. Let's see, I'm going to use this one right here. And this is so easy. All you have to do is left click on it. You're going to drag it over. You're going to drop it onto your collage canvas. And there you go. And look at the beauty of it. The link is right there. It does it for you. So to be honest, if you use the research tool to find all of your images, it's super easy because the link comes automatically. Of course, I can drag this over somewhere, wherever I want it. I can grab the corners, I can click and drag to resize that, and there we go, I have one of my 20 images already. Now you may be wondering, how did I get my letters? I literally just typed like a D, and it gives you a lot of different Ds, and you can find one that you like, drag and drop, and there I have the D for my first name, Diana. Okay, you can place that wherever you want to have your name. Let's see, I want to put it up here on the top. There we go. I also want to show you how you can put your name in there without actually doing each letter separately. Some of you prefer to use word art or just text, and that's totally fine too. They don't have to be individual letters. So here are your options. You can go to Insert, you can go right here to Word Art, and when you click on that, you can go ahead and type in your first and last, or just your first, depending upon how you want it to look. Once you hit enter, there you have it. And then from there, you can decide what color you want, like on the outline, what color you want in the inside. You can change the font. You can do all kinds of cute stuff with it. You can also just insert a text box. And when you do that, it's kind of the same thing. You just type in your last name, and you could change the font size. You can change the font color, and then of course, just like any other image or your word art, you can actually move the name around wherever you want it. So those are just some options, especially for those of you that have really long names, or maybe you just don't really have the patience to do one letter at a time. You can use word art or text box or whatever method you find that works best for you. If you don't want to use the research tool to find your images and you just want to go out to Google Images like you're used to doing, like going to google.com and searching images just like you're used to doing, that is fine too, but it is a little bit of extra work. Okay, I'm going to show you how to do that here, and if you want to watch this again later, you can, but you will have to first go to Search Tools. It's kind of like that drop down I did earlier. But then I have to go to usage rights, and I want to be able to do ones that are labeled for reuse. So those are the ones that are not copyrighted. And once I do that, then I can use any of these images. However, let's see. Let's drag it, and let's drop it, and let's see if it gives us the link. Nope, no link. Okay, so since there's no link, I have an extra step. I have to come back to the image that I used. I have to right click on it, and I have to copy the image URL. Okay, and that's the link, the Uniform Resource Locator, the URL. So I'm going to copy the URL. I'm going to go to my collage, and then I have to insert a link, or you can see right here, Control K is the shortcut. So I go to Insert Link, and there I will paste the link that I just copied. So I'll go to right click and I'll paste. And I'll hit apply, and now my Google icon has the link just like the others, but that was a lot more work. However, at times you get more options for images if you search out there than if you search here on the search tool. And the reason is because these are free to use, share, or modify even commercially, and that limits your search a little bit, whereas this one is just free to use, or excuse me, labeled for reuse. So that sometimes will give you better research results. Okay, so I don't care how you do it, but make sure every image that you borrow is linked. Make sure this whole thing is filled up and it looks something like this, and it represents you. Looking forward to seeing what you come up with and seeing all your creativity and getting to know you a little bit better through the All About Me collage project. Thank you.